Gabby, how are things going with your wedding preparations? Do you think that you're almost done with them now? Or will it still be a couple more months?
I still have a lot of work to do, actually. To be honest, it actually feels like I'm going nowhere right now. I seriously didn't think that there'd be this much stuff for me to do before I could actually have all my guests and everyone come.
I told you before that things you have already been decided on are final. Don't tell me that you've been changing a lot of things again, because you're causing yourself to waste all that time.
Well, maybe with a few things, all right. But thankfully, a lot of people who have been taking good care of me will come to my wedding. So I would really like to have a wedding which is fun for all of them, too, and not just me.
But aren't you the main character on your wedding day? As long as you are having all the fun in the world on that day, I don't think anyone else will care. I promise you that everyone coming wants you to enjoy your special moment.
But here's the thing, I'm a lot older than most are when they get married, right? By this point, a lot of my friends and family have all seen plenty of weddings in their lives. So I'd like to throw a wedding that'll be different from all the rest, so they won't become bored or anything.
I suppose you would be thinking about that. That's why I'm never planning on having a wedding or anything else that big.
Oh, you're not going to? Is your boyfriend all right with that choice?
I think so. He's never been into big events that much, especially not hosting them for others. And I'm kind of on the same page as him.
David was saying the same exact thing at first, too. At first he told me he'd do anything and everything I wanted for things like this. Yet, when we've come this far, and I'm the one doing all the planning for a wedding, he's telling me he never really did want to have one.
Oh my. So the both of you have fought over that?
We did, but we're a lot better about it now. I was able to understand his points of view a little bit better as well, and now we've both calmed down.
You just try your hardest at everything, which gets you really fired up. Well, if there's anything you need help with regarding your wedding, let me know, okay? I can handle anything you need for you.
Really? Aren't you really busy with work right now or something?
What are you talking about? One of my longtime friends is getting married soon, so you're the one that I'd like to help out the most right now.
Thank you so much, Maxine. If there's ever a moment where you're in need of help with anything, you please let me know about it.
You've already done so much for me in the past, so don't you worry about my needs. But when it comes to the day I have to get married, I'm expecting a good present from you. I'm really looking forward to what kinds of gifts you could give me, Gabby. But that won't be for some time still, so don't think too much about it now.
Have you and your boyfriend started to talk about marriage yet, though?
Well, one of my longtime friends is finally getting married now, so I've started to panic about myself a little.
I guess if you were to get married before me, I would get a little worked up about myself. Well, even if you're not having a wedding, please let me celebrate your marriage with you in private. I'll make sure to take us out to a really nice restaurant or something.
And that's something I've already been expecting from you. I'm sorry. I've got to start getting back to work here soon. As for helping you out with your wedding, do you mind if I come out tomorrow night and help?
Sure, that works for me. Just give me a call or text when you're on your way out. I'll make sure to order some dinner for us or something.
Thank you a lot. I'll see you tomorrow then. Good luck with your work and everything as well, alright?
Maxine, what should I do? David still hasn't come to the wedding venue yet. I'm not able to get a hold of him, and both his family and friends are saying they have no clue what happened to him.
Gabby, calm down, please.
I can't, because today is the day of our frickin' wedding. David's little brother even went over to David's place to see what could have happened to him, but he wasn't there either. What am I going to do if he got into an accident or something?
Go and cancel your wedding, please. There can't be all that many guests here yet, right? You need to ask them to have it canceled right now so that you don't upset everyone who comes.
But there's still a chance that David will be here soon.
There's no chance of that.
Why would you say something like that? Maybe he's just gotten into a bit of trouble somewhere and will be a little bit late today.
I don't think that's the case with him. Because currently, David is over here with me, which means he won't be going to that wedding today.
What? Wait, what did you just mean by that?
I just said that David is over here with me in my place. He told me that he wants to get married to me instead of you. With all that being said, you better hurry up and cancel that wedding of yours as soon as possible. You wouldn't want to waste any more of your time or anyone else's time there, right?
Maxine, what are you talking about right now? You're lying about all of that, right? I'm sorry, but right now is not the time to be joking about those things.
The thing is, though, I'm not joking. You really are so dull, Gabby. You never even realize the kind of relationship him and I had with one another.
Are you actually being serious about that?
I am. Him and I have been together for over a year now.
Why? Then why the hell did David even propose to me in the first place? None of this makes any sense right now.
I think at the time he was more in love with you than me, right? But I guess while he'd been meeting with me behind your back, he'll further and further in love with me.
I literally don't understand any of this. Why did he ask you to marry him? Was he the one that asked you first? Was he the one that moved on to you first? Don't tell me that he's forcing you to do any of this, right?
You really think I'm being forced to be with him? And when it comes to who started all of this, it was me.
What?
By the way, when it comes to all of your ex-boyfriends, I had relationships with them as well behind your back. I mean, look, my face is much better than yours, right? That's why I just asked them out lightheartedly. They immediately would come to me and become my boyfriends. I'm sorry, but this is just how love works.
How could you? Ever since we were little, you and I have been together as friends. I thought that you and I were so close that we could talk about anything with one another.
Well, that's because we're longtime friends. We both grew up in the same neighborhood, and our parents were close friends with one another. We both heard a lot about one another because our parents would always be talking about one another, right? You could call us longtime friends, but really we were only close because of them.
But even after becoming adults, you and I have hung out together, gone on vacations together. What were all of those things we did together meant to represent?
I just had some free time, and that's why I tagged along with you. And I guess longtime friends can be considered close friends at times. Also, all the rest of your friends were getting off married and doing things like that, right? Which only left you with someone like me, since you probably didn't want to talk about their kids and such.
But to me, I thought of you as my best friend. My best friend who I'd been around all my life.
And that was what makes you such a pure girl. It's because you still see things like that you just had your fiancé stolen from you while in your 30s.
Did you and him already have plans to get married when you came out to help me with my wedding? You knew that someday this wedding would have to be canceled?
About that, actually. When I was helping you work on your wedding, I was thinking about what him and I would be doing after getting married. Him and I are planning to move out of the city and away from everyone we know. So actually, while they're all still around, can you tell him's family and friends to all forget about him ever existing for me? I mean, most people will see what we're doing is wrong, right? And that's why we've both been planning on cutting ties to everyone we know.
Do you think that what you're doing is the right thing, Maxine?
Well, what do you think I should be doing? Do you think that if we apologize to everyone for this, they will all forgive us and celebrate our love?
I know that that won't happen.
Listen, Gabby. Inside of my belly right now is David's baby. So could you please just leave him and I and the love we share alone? Us pregnant women are delicate and shouldn't have to fight over things. Now, I don't think you and I will ever be meeting again, so good luck to you. And thank you so much for introducing me to a man with both a good education and a great job. I think this is the best present that I've ever gotten from you, and I'm so happy because of it. Gabby, you still never went and blocked me after all that happened?
What? Is this you, Maxine?
Yep, it's me again. It has been 10 years now since I last saw you.
And what the hell do you want with me now?
Well, actually, just a second ago I saw you. You were wearing your suit and you were walking down the street, what, right? Well, I laughed when I saw you like that. I know you told me before that you never had any interest in things like brand goods, but you were carrying a very high-end bag in your hand as you walked, right? Since money is the only way you can make yourself look good anymore, you must have really worked hard to get that thing. Are you still single after having your fiancé stolen from you a decade ago? It must really suck to be you then.
I have 3 kids now, though.
Huh? You have 3 kids? You really don't have to lie about yourself to me.
I'm not lying about that, though. Remember that it's been a decade now since the last time you and I saw one another.
I get that it's been 10 years now, but no matter how I think about it, there's no way you have 3 kids. Back then you were already in your 30s, so that would mean you had all your kids late, right? Sure, it would be one thing if you had a single kid, but 3 of them is way too much. If you really did find someone else to love and have kids with, that would mean you had some of them in your 40s, right?
2 years after what happened then, I had my first kid.
What?
I never did want to find love again after you had taken David from me, nor did I want to get married. But when I went overseas for work, I ran into a really nice man there. And that started a new chapter in my life with the real man of my dreams.
Oh, I guess you had no chance with anyone from the US. But if you went out to Asia, then I'm sure some man would have bitten.
They're an American, though.
Then are they some kind of a homeless man or something? Or better yet, a failed influencer that got stuck overseas and became homeless? Are you sure you'll be alright with him? I'm sure they only married you for money, of all things.
Not at all, because they're the one making way more money than me. They work for a very large company at the moment and are in a very good position there.
Listen, Gabby, I don't care how tough it is for you to deal with hearing from me again. It's not okay to lie about yourself like that. So please, stop all of that right now. Tell me, where could you find a man that makes a lot of money who is willing to marry a woman who is still single in her 40s? David was your very last chance at having someone decent to marry, and you dropped the ball then, right? There is no way you found anyone better than him since he came with me.
I don't really care if you believe me or not, Maxine, because I am very much happy with the life I have now and don't think that I'll ever be seeing you again.
Yeah, sure. But someone who ends up marrying a man with a lot of money shouldn't be working themselves currently, right? So you give it up trying to act all tough like that right now.
The reason you saw me walking down the street in my suit just a second ago is because I had a meeting with some of the people my husband is involved with for realty.
You used to be so much better put together in the past. But now that you had David stolen from you by me, have you gone completely mad? I'm really sorry about that. But seeing that you're still trying your best at whatever kind of work you're doing, I feel a little bit better now. The only thing you have left after all is work, right?
I really do not care how you misinterpret what I'm saying, but to me it seems like you're not really that happy at all. Like you're giving off this aura of jealousy, and that's why you're wanting to put me down now.
Huh? I'm the one who's a housewife at the moment, and with my kid being so cute and successful, I feel like I'm on top of this world. Just the other day, I was with all of my family on vacation at a 5-star resort on the beach. Ah, that's right. My little girl has a really good-looking face, so pretty soon here, she's going to be starting her modeling career.
Is that right? Glad to hear that. Well, I have some more plans to get to now.
You still haven't finished with your work yet, huh? Hey, Gabby, here's some advice from someone who has been happily married for the past 10 years. If you were to become a bit more open and honest about yourself, I think you could still find someone who will take you as their wife. If you don't start realizing that soon, you are going to be single for the rest of your life. Now, if you don't want to start losing all chances with not only men, but your friends as well, it's time that you fix that depressing attitude of yours. Have a good one now. Excuse me, Gabby. Are you living in the same exact condo building as my favorite band's vocalist?
Wait, what's this all about?
Hey, I'm asking you whether or not you're living in that condo building right now.
I don't know who that vocalist is that you're talking about right now, and even if I did know who they are and where they're living, I wouldn't want to tell you anything about me.
So wait, are you living in a large condo building right now, though?
I have no reason to answer a question like that for you, right? What the hell is all of this even about? It's not like someone of your type would believe what I have to say anyway.
I had a look at your Instagram account. I couldn't see your face or anything in the post, but it was a post of you with an old dog of yours. You posted that not too long ago, right?
And what does my post have to do with anything?
So you really are living up there. You really did get married to a man with a lot of money.
I never married him because of the money he has, though.
And you do really have 3 kids at the moment?
I told you that before. That's what I said before you replied with more rude things about my life and I.
I just assumed that you were trying so hard to act all tough.
Unlike someone else here with me, I never ever lie about myself or others.
Gabby, I was actually wanting to apologize to you the last time I reached out.
No, you're lying about that, right? I thought you were just trying to fight with me again because that's literally how you started off the whole conversation and ended it.
I'm sorry about that too. I was just jealous of seeing you walking around with that high-end bag in hand. I know that a lot of what I said to you then was not nice of me. Not nice at all.
So I wasn't wrong about the aura you were giving off then. Why though? Why are you so jealous of me? You told me yourself that you're on top of the world right now with David and your daughter, right? And you said that you and your family all went to stay at a 5-star resort on the beach, right? And that your daughter is about to start modeling now, right?
That was all a lie. I'm currently living in a really old and rundown apartment, and I don't actually have any children.
Really? So you were never able to give birth to that baby?
No, both of David's parents stole my baby from me. Things were all fine and dandy after getting married and while I was carrying out kids, but soon after that, it was discovered that David had been embezzling money from his company, and he lost his job there. I then got all stressed out because of that and stopped taking care of our baby for some time. And not long after that, when his parents found out what had been going on, they came and took my baby. Now both of his parents are the ones raising her.
I feel so bad for your kid.
Well, currently, she is still with them and living a really good life under their caring eyes. I don't think she even knows who David and I are. When all that started to happen, I was going on 40, and there wasn't a single thing that I could do. And now I am still with David, married and all, but every single day is so difficult for us. David is having such a hard time finding good work for himself. And I'm trying my best in my part-time job, but every time I get paid, that money gets used up immediately. At this point in time, I have no idea what I should be doing anymore.
Is that so? Well, as long as you just sit there crying about it, nothing is going to change and life will forever be difficult for you. So the only thing I can really say to you is to try your best. Now, I have plans for brunch with my family, so I am really sorry to have to say this at such timing, but could you stop texting me now? The only reason I ever forgot to block you anyway was because so many other things had happened that I completely forgot to, and that's how you were able to get in touch with me again a month ago.
Wait a second. If you're going out to eat with your family now, that means your husband is with you currently, right?
He is?
Your husband is working for a really good company currently, right? Can you guys figure out a way to get David a job there? Or could you at least have your husband get him in touch with another company which is hiring?
Not happening, Maxine. I'm sorry, but with the education and work experience that David is lacking, I'm not sure any of the companies my husband knows would hire him. And what even makes you think that I'd want to do something like that for the both of you monsters in the first place? Don't tell me that you've already forgotten what you all did to me in the past. Or have you?
I think back then I was a real idiot. Because I ran off with your fiancé on your wedding day, I lost all of my family, my friends, and everyone. There is not a single person for me to rely on now. Both David and I have only one person left, and that's you, Gabby. Please, I'm sure that if the company is good enough, David will do everything that he can to go work there.
Even if you lost all your friends and family back then, it's been 10 years now, which means you've had to have made new friends since then, right? Maybe you don't, though, because you never bothered to care about anyone besides yourself, and that's why you're all alone?
If nothing happens to help us out here, then we won't be able to carry on much longer.
So what you're telling me is that you don't think the both of you can do anything else for yourself? Maybe you can't do anything else because you don't care to. Isn't it David's fault that he's not working another job right now? And if you're lacking money at the moment, isn't that because you guys aren't working together to save any of it? I'm sure that things don't become easier as you get older, but if you both were to go out and actually try when it comes to finding good jobs, then I'm sure you'd find something and would be just fine right now.
I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry for having stabbed you in the back and broken your heart.
It's way too late for you to be apologizing about all of that now, you know. Also, I'm happy with the life I have now because of what happened back then, so I don't need your apologies.
And to me, the only one I could trust and rely on the most was you, Gabby, my longtime best friend.
I thought you said to me back then that we were only friends because of our parents' relationship, right?
I was just jealous of you all back in the time because of how amazing of a life you were able to make for yourself. That's why I had to start thinking about ways to get my own relationships and stuff. I thought that by stealing David from you and marrying him, I had finally gotten my chance to be happy like you. But now I'm aware of just how wrong I was for doing that.
Maxine, if you're aware that what you did was wrong, then you should stop trying to talk with me now. Please. There's no trust between you and I anymore. All because you came in and destroyed everything.
Gabby, please help me. I don't want to get any older in the state that I'm currently in. I want to start over one last time and make things right for myself.
I'm really sorry, Maxine, but I no longer care about the person you've become. So no matter how much you apologize to me now, it's not going to give you back the relationship we had. And I won't be able to help you.
I'm so very sorry. Until you feel that you can forgive me for what I've done, I will get on my hands and knees and apologize to you. Please don't abandon me like this.
It was the both of you who went and abandoned me 10 years ago, right? Pretty soon here, I'm going to be moving overseas with my husband and 3 kids. Which means that I really don't think you and I will ever be seeing one another again. I will never forgive you for having stolen my fiancé and running off like you both did. But at this point in time, I am thankful for what you did. Thank you so much for taking that embezzling freak out of my sight and marrying him for me. I like to think that a part of the reason I'm so happy now is because of all of the horrible things you did back then. Thank you so very much for sacrificing your future in such a way that all the happiness you did have came back to me and made me as successful as I am now.
Gabby, please don't go. Gabby, please. David and I need you to just help us out a little bit. Gabby, come on.
From there, I noticed that on some of my posts, Maxine was attacking me with really rude and inappropriate comments, saying things about how I was some kind of a corrupt person, that not only was I avoiding giving her and David any help, but was also the one behind why he had to embezzle money from his company in the past. Of course, a lot of the lies were easy to ignore, but others did cause some stir when it came to the others who read them, and that made me start to feel a bit uncomfortable about her. I talked with a lawyer about it, and they told me that the best course of action was to block her and then start a new account to see if I could ignore all that she'd done. But by the time I took action, a lot of damage had already been done and a ton of my followers had left me, and I had rumors going around me amongst all of my friends. But at that point, my lawyer said we could sue her for what she'd done, and when I had sent the settlement papers to Maxine, her and David both told me they were already in debt and couldn't pay up. It was so bad that David even started to apologize for me for everything that he'd done in the past and everything that Maxine had done recently. He then went on about how he would leave her and come back to me if I would just be willing to support him some, but of course that's not happening when I already have a family of my own and I really hate his guts. So after he continued to try calling me over and over and over again, wanting to apologize and beg some more, I blocked his number as well and deleted everything and anything that had to do with the both of them. I really do feel that those two are completely helpless and will lose their apartment soon, too, before becoming homeless. Of course, I was never going to forgive them in any way, and after a few weeks had gone by and I asked my lawyer to check up on them again, I was told that they had both gotten a divorce and had gone separate ways. With nobody knowing their whereabouts, it's most likely that they'll be gone for good, and we will never have to worry about them coming back. And of course, with me moving overseas now, there's really no way Maxine will be able to find me again. I'm sure that things are going to be even tougher for Maxine now after the divorce and having to run away again, but that's what happens when you act like a child in your 40s. I'm not sure what she's going to be able to do to pick herself up out of the mess she's in, but to make her suffer is my wanted outcome for her. As for myself right now, I'm still with my husband, who is semi-retired at the moment, and my children, who are all doing just fine. Being overseas means that a lot of things are different for us now, but I can tell that all of my kids like it here in Europe a lot better than the US. I know a lot of tough things had happened to me in the past, but because of them, and all the people that stood by me and helped, I have a wonderful life now. I'm never going to forget about the appreciation I have for everyone, and will continue looking forward to what the future holds for both my family and I. And while time continues to move on, I'm going to continue working, and making sure that I too can retire early with my husband in another 10 years or so. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.